everyone, and welcome back to the Arcade Shop. So this is going to be the first edition of Weekend Update. And if you're tuning in to see Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin exchanging insults at the news desk, sorry, you guys got the wrong channel. So anyways, I don't know if I'll be able to get these out every weekend or not. Most likely not, but we'll try to give you guys updates every now and then, and we'll call them weekend updates and just get you up to speed on what we've been working on or looking at or doing. So the first thing that we did this week is we made a little accessory for the Bridgeport mill, a little auxiliary collet rack on the right side of the mill. So let's cut away and take a look at that, and then we'll come back and look at a few other things. Hey guys, little Wednesday night project update here. So this accessory rack, it's full. I need more room. So anyways, I was gonna watch the hockey game tonight. I actually started to watch our local hockey team, and they're getting slaughtered right now. So in order to control my blood pressure, I had to come out here to the shop and do something besides watch them. So anyways, I've had this this piece of aluminum that somebody had made, and originally it was, you know, fully rectangle. It had that piece on there. It had some kind of a funny extra hole in there. So I was checking it the other day, and I came out here and kind of held it up and decided that needed to knock that corner off anyways. So I did that and made a little bracket just out of a piece of aluminum I had laying around, already laid out for a couple holes here. And then I was rummaging around. Oops, sorry about that. I was rummaging around in my parts bin and found some 1224 screws that fit perfect. So all we got to do is drill those holes. I got some flange nuts for the back side. The only thing I don't like is I've got to put a couple screws through the way cover support here. That should be strong enough to hold everything. It's got some pretty good brackets underneath there that hold it to the mill. So that's going to get, I'm going to mount the plate on it first, and then I'll see how this looks in case we need to position, you know, one way or the other before we drill those holes. So I was going to grab some 1224 round head screws, but these being Phillips, it's in the way this bracket is, you know, they're going to be, the screws are going to be back in here a ways. I won't be able to get a screwdriver down in there very easily. So I figured, wow, maybe I can find some hex head screws. Well, long story short, the only thing I came up with, these are some metric screw cap screws that I had, and they've got this nice little I guess that's a Belleville washer already captive on there, and I've got metric cap nuts that fit. I hate to mix, you know, metric and SAE on the same bracket, but I hate going to the store even worse. So we're gonna use what we got. So anyways, let me get these holes drilled, and I'll bring you guys back and we'll see what our fit up's gonna look like. Okay, can you hold the drill motor with one hand, camera with the other, and not screw it up? Let's see what happens. The 7/32 drill bit. Tell you what, I really like these Makita drill motors, but these keyless chucks that come on them are garbage. I keep threatening to replace the chuck, and I haven't done it yet. Unbelievable. Okay, there we go. All right, let me drill the other one. I've got two of these Makitas. I got the, I guess you would call it the homeowner's version, the black and white, and the commercial version. But they both have this same garbage keyless chuck on them, and it's actually branded Makita, the chuck. But man, they've got no holding power at all. They're actually okay for the first week or two that you have them, and then they start slipping and they just get worse and worse. So I don't know, maybe AVE will do an analysis on one of these, but yeah, these are garbage. The drill motors are great. I mean, a lot of torque, batteries last a long time, but the chucks are garbage. So what I ended up doing was just kind of going even with the front of the way cover, and just matched up the bracket back here. I just got a clamp holding it right now. Okay, we're ready to mark these holes. And I did a test fit to make sure that we're where we want to be. Okay, so if you've got a location like this where you can't get a transfer punch in, here's a trick that I should learn from my neighbor. Keep a couple of pencil erasers, you know, short pieces. Try not to drop them on the ground. So anyways, take a pencil eraser or anything that you can get in there, and then take your paint pen, or you can use whiteout. Might even be able to use a Sharpie, but just get a little bit of the paint, make a little puddle. Sorry guys, I'm doing all this handheld here. If you haven't figured that out, put a little bit of the paint or whiteout on the end of your pencil eraser, and come on in and just kind of swirl around there a little bit. Come around the other one. All right, let me pull that off of there and see how we did. Okay, there you go. Not as precise as a transfer punch, but you know, for something like this, it's good enough. All right, we got it mounted up, and we threw some tooling in there. Seems to be, you know, fairly stable. I wouldn't put any large tools on this side, but I think this is going to be great. The last thing to do, though, is to figure out what to do with this funny blanked off hole. There's not much room behind it, but I think what I'll do is just punch a 1/2-inch hole in there where I can stick a chamfering bit in there. I think that'll work out okay. Okay, well, I think the idea here is not to have long tooling over here. I mean, you can move the handle too, but you know, if you're not paying attention and you had a sharp end mill in there, that could possibly ruin your day. Okay, there it is, all done. Uh-oh. We got a couple of empty spots. You know what that means. So I think that little accessory rack's going to work out good. We had a problem with the with the feed handle on the quill. If I put too long of a tool in there, you know, you're going to hit your hand on it. But with just regular collets in there, it'll be fine. So, anyways, the other thing we did is we went back to an estate sale that we've already been to a month or so ago, and we ran into the Seagull. He beat us there again. Chuck from Outside Screwball. So, anyways, we picked up a few nice items. So, let's take a look at those. Here's our latest tool purchase. Got this from an estate. So, got a nice set. It's not complete. It's by 30 seconds. There's a couple sizes missing, but they're good quality. 5C collets. Most are, well, it's a mixture of Hardinge and a brand I'm not familiar with. But they're made in Germany. I don't know how you pronounce that. And there's a couple imports mixed in. And a couple of these are ones I had in the drawer that I threw in here to try to get all the size ranges. And we got a couple of square drive and a couple of hex. Okay, and then we got a nice little 1/4-inch keyless Enco drill chuck with a Morse Taper 2 adapter. And this was just really cool. A little 1.5-inch Stanley drill press vise. It's in really great shape. I just couldn't pass that up. That was just too cool. Yeah, so, all right. So now I got another project. I got to figure out where to store all these. So what I did is I ordered. Switch hands here. I ordered a couple of these 30 collet rack stands. So I got to put these together, and I got an idea of where to put them. I want to wall mount them over by the lathe. We're putting our collet rack together. These things are pretty basic, not much to them. You can mount these side panels. You can either have the flange facing out or facing in, and I think for my setup here I like them facing out better. The other thing is they didn't quite break these at a true 90 degrees, so got to do a little massaging there, but heck, you know, for the price you can't really complain. I mean, you can't even drill the holes in a piece of plate for what you can buy the whole thing for here. We had to shuffle a few things around, but we got our collet rack mounted. Had to move these drill bits down. They were over here. And lathe dogs, had to move them up a little higher there. But anyways, there we go. So I'm shooting for 30 seconds. So that's why the spacing, the first one missing would be 1/32. And as you can see, there's gaps in here where some of the in-between, 30-second sizes would go. And then our oddballs and duplicates are down here at the bottom. Yeah, so I think we'll make good use of those collets. Been something on the wish list for quite a while. We ended up spending pretty much the entire day just figuring out where to mount that rack and what to move around and what our best options were. So I think that's going to work out fine. Okay, so the next item and final item is we made an adapter for the arbor press. It goes in the ram, protects the end of the ram, and I'm going to be making some more of these as I figure out what we need. I just wanted to get just a generic one. Yeah, I haven't used the arbor press or anything yet, but when we get ready to use it, I want to make sure that I have something in there so we don't damage the face of the ram. So anyways, let's cut away. I'll show you how we made this. It's still not done. We got to part it off and face it off. And before we do that, I think I might use what's left of this material to make one more adapter with maybe a 3/4 bore where we can put different size pins in it for various types of pressing operations. So let's take a look at this, and then I'll show you. Mr. Bozo showed up during the process, and 40,000th cut. There we go. Chips are breaking. Little blue. Might have to slow it down a little bit. Okay, we slowed her down a little bit. We're still going for 40,000th cut. Okay, we are right at, just a little loose, 765. We want to be at 749. Okay, we got our dimension. Now we're going to put a little land in here for the set screw. Okay, we got our land in there. I'm trying to do this just handheld, so let's try to break these edges. See if we can do it with one hand and not screw anything up here. Okay, we did a little polish job and I think we're done. That goes right in there. Let me tighten the set screw with my other hand. There we go. Now tomorrow I'm gonna cut this off with the bandsaw and face it off. But there we go. We got a nose piece for the press. Okay. Well, I hope you like that. So get a little closer here so you guys can see this. So what happened is we put a little land in here for the set screw so we don't mar up the surface when you're, locking down the set screw. You can still get it out because it always raises a burr. So we measured on the ram. We measured from the end of the ram to the center of the set screw, and it ended up being exactly a ½ inch. So when I laid it out here on the piece, I got it backwards. I measured from here to ½ inch, where I should have been measuring from here over to here to give us our ½ inch center. So we're off by just a tad. So we're going to put this back in the lathe and just take a little more off on the top side here, and maybe even deepen the land a little bit. So it'll be fine. We'll just have a little wider land than what we wanted. So hard to keep Mr. Bozo away. He showed up again. Okay, well, that's pretty much it for this week. We're finally getting some rain here in California. Winter has finally showed up. We got a couple inches yesterday and the night before total. Well needed. It's been, geez, like 5 months or so without any rain. So things were really getting dry, and you guys know about all the wildfires and so forth. So I think with this last rainstorm, they were saying like 5% a week ago. So I'm sure everything is out now. Sucks for everybody that lost their homes. It's really bad. So anyways, thanks everyone for stopping by, and hopefully we'll get another one of these out in a week or so and show you what else we're up to. Okay, take care everybody.